All right, thank you very much. We're back at it again. Let's talk about what is trending this morning, and we'll take it back again, Amwai, to yesterday. I'll tell you something. Yeah. KPLC made a tweet yesterday, and I'll tell you why. Let me just pull it. Good. Here we are. KPLC. I'm looking for. If I can't get it, I will start like this. Sisindi Otuko. They tweeted like that yesterday. Do you know what was going on yesterday? We were right here in the studio when the power kept on fluctuating on and off throughout the entire session that we're in the studio. By the way, our generator needs to be fixed, isn't it? So that now we counter the... It's not like we don't have a generator. We have a very big generator. And why? But then the delay in it kicking when we lose power.
On that, I played the fifth.
Oh, yeah? Anyway, so KPLC tweeted yesterday and said, Sisi ndio tuko. Whether you guys like it or not, there was a national power outage across the country. What do you make of that? When you're in problems, how should you tweet, Amwai? Do you say, well, it is what it is, man? Sisi ndio tuko. We're trying to fix it.
Are they trying to fix it, though?
No.
Somebody here says that KPLC needs a competitor. 17 hours, it's too much. Generator ni how much? Do they need a competitor?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, because there's a plan, though. In the National House, that's the 13th Parliament, of them trying to say, well, they need to give Kenyan the powers to also sell power directly then to customers. How are you going to compete government for business? Is saying there are other players in that particular. Get it? But we do have independent power producers. Okay. So probably now, this independent power producer, by the way, who've been selling power to KPLC, they also need to be given the rights then to sell it directly to us, so that we can know who to go for. That's it. But KPLC, so far,
would we then adopt an alternative in terms if you don't get a... what could be the alternative? Are you talking about solar?
Yeah, solar. By the way, again, the 12th Parliament did pass some very controversial laws. When they realized that KPLC wound your wako and a lot of people were moving away from them, they said, well, before you are allowed to sell solar power and any other thing that is involved in solar power in the country, you need to go get a license. Amwai, if you're found selling solar panels without a license in this country, you're in trouble. That's how it is. I'm telling you, that's how the government is. And then they say we need to...
They want to put in a box that makes sure that you don't have any other choice rather than use the power that they actually do provide.
That's it. I'm telling you.
And listen, I was talking to somebody from my village the other day, yesterday. They're telling me the transformer in that particular, the line that they're using, actually, had a hitch. So for the past 1 month, they've not been having power. And they say, we've been trying to call these people, that is the Kenya Power, to come and fix it, and they're not even, they came, looked at it, and laughed. And it's been a month, and they don't have power. I know it's a small village. It is a small village, but they do have power if at all they're paying for it. Because it's not for free. You're not giving it to them for free. They are paying for it. So give them the services that they actually deserve. Yeah. Because when it comes to when people don't pay, you are very quick to going there and, disconnecting. If the fault is with you, then make sure that you actually do give them the services they deserve. Don't do this to people. It's not fair.
I'm telling you, man. Yeah. It's interesting. What is trending again this morning? I didn't get to catch.
All right. I think I'm just going to take this one because it's been making headlines. And this is Davido is trending. And do you know why?
Davido?
Davido.
Yeah, the singer.
Yeah, he lost his son, man. So he was sending condolence messages to him, and so the son happened to have drowned. He wasn't around together with his wife. They traveled. And the son drowned, and I believe about 7 people right now have been arrested in regards to that for negligence. That is the nanny and all the people that were at home when this little young man met his death.
What? I'm telling you, though.
Yeah. So people are sending condolence messages to him. And it's very painful to lose a child, Simba.
Is Davido your favorite musician?
He's not my favorite musician. If you ask me about any music that he sang.
Oh, yeah. I remember the song that he sang. I only listened to one of his songs. It's not, only listen. Yeah, just one. It's I don't rate him musically. And that's not disrespect, but you know, everybody has a right to their opinion. I was only sung one song, I can't even remember it. It's Ah Yeah, that's a song. Ah Yeah, that one. That's the only one. After that, everything went downhill for him and me. That's it. Anyway, here's the thing though.
Yeah.
Let's play like this, Amwai. Want to pick some sentiment here on exactly what Kenyans think about. Well, today we have an industrial expo, Kenya. Fine. That's not even what I want to ask you about. There's so something here on. Of course, KPLC is trending. Thank you very much. I can't pick that particular tweet that I wanted to share with you. It's about it's Boni Kalowale. Yes, it's. Let me pull it. Boni Kalowale. Yes, there it is. It was a very happy man yesterday when the list for the CS came out. Now listen, this is what he said. Look what I brought back home after I spent time doing what some called a spell of washing dishes at Sugoi. Kumbe hata dish washing ni kazi. Then went on to say Wetangula is now Speaker, Mudavadi is the Chief CS, Kalowale is the Senate Chief Whip, Babu Namwamba is the CS, Susan Nahumeja is the CS, Prof Kisangiani is the CS, Sylvia Mohora is the PS, Petrus Inyangala, PS, Susan Mangeni, PS, James Muhati, PS, and Juma Mukhwana, PS. Where? See those names I'm reading there? All those belong to one community. When other communities, and I hate this thing about other communities, Amwai, but then the rest of them got nothing. Some of them got nothing. Do you think you should tweet this, Amwai?
Boni Halwale, well, he's looking at it as a win for the Luya community to some extent for him, but also leaders should be wary and also just, cautious of what they say because they are, it's being a leader is not about your community, it's about the general country, you understand?
Yeah.
And if the people themselves do not feel represented, then there's a problem. Who exactly are you representing when it comes to that? And also I just want to mention something in regards to Boni Halwale. Because, the other day there was a funeral in Kakamega.
Oh, yeah. For the mother of the Kakamega governor, Fernandez Barraza,
and he came to trend on that particular day, after that particular funeral, because he posted a photo of him shaking hands with Kalonzo Musyoka and Raila Odinga was to some extent looking away. Then he posted that and said, today I met with leaders of Azimio and all that, but mwingine amekataa kunisalimia.
And he called him a huncho, by the way.
I don't want to use those.
Okay. Just say they did a more.
So, tuache makasiriko na kuweka siasa kwa roho, but later on it can, he had actually, been greeted earlier on, and he didn't get to post that photo. So this propaganda that is happening in the political arena, you take politics and you make it like a socialite kind of thing. It's very sad. You see, the way some socialites do chase clout, that's exactly what politicians are doing at this particular moment.
That's it. I like the way Amwai says it. Some socialites chase clout. Is doing it. Amwai, just as we take a break, let me tell you the communities that got nothing. Kisi people got nothing in the PS positions. Meru people got 1. Yeah? That's it. Wow. Kalenjin's got 13.
Meru got 1?
Yeah. Kalenjin's got 13. The Kikuyu community has 13. Luya 6. Kamba 4. Somali 8. Luo just 2. Pokot 1. Masai 1. Meru 1. Coast 1. And Turkana 1. The rest of them go home and...
Somalis this time round, they did get a good number.
Yeah, they did get a good number. Maybe that's a conversation that we need to table in terms of spreading these particular positions across the country. If you have a government that's got to be representative, like you're saying, Amwai. Anyway, here's the thing. That's probably for Monday, isn't it? For now, we take a tiny break. Once we come back, I'll be taking you right into the studio where we'll be looking at what is making headlines. And I promise you, this particular story for CS is going to be number 1. Already you know a lot about it. It's just Amwai and I, but let's see what other people think about it once we come back here on The Morning Drift.
born a man, the society bestows tough responsibilities upon you.
Lazima uwe mtu wa bidii, ukija kuoa lazima uwe ni provider.
If you're not able to provide, that's a challenge. It takes a toll on a man.
It takes someone who is strong enough to face it.
This is Born a Man.
Get a chance to wake up as a tourist as you view Mount Kenya every day by buying a plot of land at Wema Gardens, Naru Moru. At only 400 meters off tarmac, this is the right place to build your dream home, cottages or holiday homes. You can also buy this property to give to your children as a special inheritance. Water and electricity are in the vicinity, while neighbors are already building their homes. These plots are specially ready for you with title deeds scheduled to be out in 6 months. Buy a 50 by 100 plot of land at Wema Gardens for only 399,000 Kenya shillings. You can also pay for your plot through our friendly one-year installments plan.
We're inspiring possibility.
Vera Beauty and Fashion College is focused on being the leading technical and vocational training institute in the region. Our team possesses in-depth knowledge and extensive experience in the industry, offering thorough training in cosmetology, hairdressing, interior design, creative arts, training of trainers, nail technology, and fashion design. With branches in Nairobi, Thika, Meru, Eldoret, and now in Mombasa, our courses ensure that learners are completely equipped with knowledge, competency, and employability skills. Enroll today to be a part of a center of excellence.
In drift, Madame Simba Charles Kiage, let's then cross over to the newsroom so we can get to show you some of the biggest headlines that you are waking up to this morning. Now, President William Ruto has appointed 51 nominees for principal secretary positions as recommended to him by the Public Service Commission. Top among them, his allies, politicians who failed to secure positions in the August general elections. Ian Kitani with that particular story.
After the Public Service Commission recommended 250 names to President William Ruto for consideration from the 585 who applied for the principal secretary's position, 51 have today been appointed by the head of state, ready to take up their roles after vetting by the National Assembly. Among those appointed by President William Ruto are principal secretaries who served under retired President Uhuru Kenyatta, including Belio Kipsang, appointed to the Education Docket, Peter Tum in the Ministry of Health, Charles Hinga to the Ministry of Urban Development, and Dr. Chris Kipto appointed to the Treasury. Fierce defenders of the head of state were greatly rewarded with appointments to key ministries, top among them former Lang'ata MP Nixon Korir, Jonathan Mueke, who vied for the Kitui gubernatorial seat on a UDA ticket, Uasin Gishu County boss contestant Ambassador Julius Bitok, Cleophas Malala's running mate Beatrice Inyangala, political analyst Edward Kisiangani, and lawyer Korir Singoei.
This morning's sitting will kick off that debate on the address.
The names of the appointees will now be forwarded to the National Assembly for voting before taking over their mandate after being cleared and sworn in. Ian Kitani, Lookuptv.
Stakeholders in the communication sector have called for security agencies to expedite investigations into the killing of Pakistani journalist Ashad Sharif. In a status conference as the United Nations marked 10 years of war on crimes against the journalists, the team that brought together Media Council of Kenya, Katiba Institute, UN Representatives, Office of the Directorate of Public Prosecutions and the National Assembly Committee on ICT is particularly concerned with the increased killings targeting journalists, as our reporter Henry Tende expounds.
As the United Nations mark 10 years of continued fight to protect journalists in the line of duty, stakeholders drawn from various sectors want security agencies to speed up investigations into the controversial killing of celebrating Pakistani journalist Ashad Sharif, who was killed in the country close to 2 weeks ago.
Our gathering today is crowded by the recent killing of a Pakistan journalist under mysterious circumstances, which we continue to condemn and call on the relevant authorities to expedite the investigation and those found culpable to be prosecuted.
The death of Ashad Sharif and increasing cases of murder of journalists is a major concern for media stakeholders worldwide. Statistics from UNESCO on freedom of speech and media painting a grim picture of crimes perpetrated against journalists in their line of duty. The figures from the report show this year alone, 71 journalists have been killed. In a 4-year period running from 2016 to 2020, the world lost more than 400 journalists. The report also revealed 274 journalists were arbitrarily arrested and jailed. The same report shows that women are the worst affected when it comes to online crime, with a whopping 73% suffering abuses in digital space. On a more worrying trajectory, complaints lodged by journalists about threats on their lives are not treated seriously, with more than 80% of complaints failing the prosecution test. These figures are a true indication that serious action has to be taken, and taken sooner than later, to secure men and women working day and night to inform the world of what is happening around them. A reason why local stakeholders are now calling for a multi-sectoral approach to securing the work of journalists.
The safety of journalists, the freedom of expression and the free flow of information are pillars of democracy and the prerequisite for all our human rights.
It is therefore our collective responsibility to ensure the safety of journalists, since it's a gateway to the enjoyment of other rights and freedoms, including the freedom of expression, the right to access information and public participation.
As ODPP, we count journalists as key partners in the administration and achievement of justice, as oftentimes such reporting has presented the starting point of a case, advanced prosecutions, and enhance the efforts of law enforcement.
The Media Council will beyond here, just identify the people who we believe have the power to take steps towards ending this impunity. And I want to say that Parliament is a good place to start.
It is indeed a noble undertaking that one would hope will be the impetus that will result into the protection of journalists from unwarranted attacks that result in death and other crimes. Henry Tende, Lookuptv.
2 people have been killed and 3 others are seriously injured after an attack by heavily armed bandits in Samburu. The Tuesday night incident left herders in a disarray as hundreds of their livestock were stolen. Samburu Governor Lali Lelit and other county leaders have offered relief food to the displaced persons and have called for concerted efforts to enhance peace in the region.
Kwa sababu vita ndo na fukuza sisi, hakuna mali, hakuna nyasi, hakuna mvua, sina toroka, siko njaa kila kitu, watu iko njaa, mali iko njaa.
In the Tuesday night horror attack, 2 herders were killed and 3 others fatally injured in a banditry attack in Samburu County that saw herds of cattle stolen.
Miti ambayo iko na matawi hata moja, hakuna maji, watu wanaumia, na within the displacement ambayo tunapata bado tunapigwa na wakora kutoka nchi.
Samburu County leaders have pointed fingers at the government for failure to contain the banditry attacks that have continued to render operations by pastoralists paralyzed.
Tukio ambayo ilifanyika, serikali hakuna kitu imefanya mpaka sasa. bado hawa wa Kenya ambao mifugo yao ilipotea ama waliibiwa na wahalifu kutoka Isiolo hawajarudisha mpaka leo.
Profesa Mheshimiwa Kindiki, sasa honeymoon imeisha, wewe ndio waziri. Tungependa kukuomba kama viongozi wa Samburu utoke kule Nairobi, ukuje uone ile shida watu wa Samburu County wanapitia.
Shida ya hapa, kambi zote za serikali, za JSU, za RDU na kila moja ziko upande ile Isiolo. Mifugo yetu ikifuga tu waso, baadaye kurudisha wanashunga sasa na wale wakora. So hapa upande Samburu hatuna hata kambi moja ya askari.
This comes at a time when Samburu is among the counties enduring severe drought, with widespread livelihood loss and massive displacement of populations. Samburu Governor Lati Lelelit, in the company of other leaders, presided over the disbursement of relief food to displaced herders.
Tunataka kuomba serikali na tutafuatilia kambi pia zikwe upande ya askari, kwa sababu haiwezi kuwa watu wa Isiolo ni muhimu sana, kambi zote za serikali zinapelekwa upande hiyo, halafu watu wetu hapa wanaumia.
The leaders have decried lack of efforts by security personnel in dealing with the matter. They have also accused National Police Service involvement in theft of livestock.
Kutoka hapa ukielekea Samburu West, ukielekea Samburu North, shida ni ile ile. Kama viongozi, leo ni siku ya bunge. Sisi hata hatuwezi enda kufanya kazi yetu kule bungeni. Na ukiona ile tabu tumepata nayo hapa, raia wanatoroka, wanahama, na kiangazi hakuna maji, hakuna chakula, wamama na watoto wachanga. Yani ni kama watu wanaishi hata sijui ni maisha. It's such an undignified kind of life.
Jukumu la kurudisha mfugo ama ile mali yote ambayo inaibiwa na mwizi ni serikali. Lakini serikali hakuna siku hata moja wamerudisha hiyo mfugo ambao imeenda.
The bandits remain at large as calls are made to the national government to act urgently. Cecilia Lubanga, Lookuptv.
President William Ruto flagged off Kenyan contingent to the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, under the auspices of the East African Community Regional Force. Speaking at Embakasi Garrison on Wednesday, Ruto said that Kenya's participation in the regional force continues to be a proud legacy of peacekeeping by Kenya Defense Forces.
As a nation, this is a proud day for two reasons. First, we are sending a signal to the world of our commitment to perform our obligations by contributing to the achievement and maintenance of peace and stability in our region. Secondly, we are proud to flag off a national contingent whose readiness for mission is at its highest ever. It deserves the opportunity to experience peace and safety, and every nation desires to guarantee its people the dividend of security and stability. The unfortunate story of our dear brothers and sisters in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and no country in the world has been so cruelly robbed of such abundance of promise through conflict, insecurity, and instability. As neighbors with various interlinkages, the destiny of DRC is intertwined with ours. It remains, however, burdened with serious challenges, and I believe that we owe a brotherly duty of solidarity to meet DRC halfway together until the job is done. We are committed to do our part in providing resources to equip you to shoulder this solemn responsibility of defending our country and contributing to regional and international peace and security.
Members of the National Assembly Wednesday began the process of anchoring CDF in law in a constitution amendment motion tabled by Matungulu Member of Parliament Stephen Mule. The lawmakers are seeking to rescue the impugned National Government Constituency Fund that was declared unconstitutional by the High Court. Shadrach Kareria reports.
It doesn't matter that touches on this House. That is.
For the first time, the debate on the amending the Constitution was tabled before the chambers of the National Assembly.
Some other things, stimulus,
And then you have talked about
giving a chance for the members of parliament to give their comment about the bill that is aimed at legalizing the Constituency Development Fund, the National Government Affirmative Fund, and the Oversight Fund for the Senate. While defending the CDF that was termed illegal by the court, the outspoken MPs overwhelmingly vote to support the move, arguing that it's almost impossible for them to deliver their mandate at the constituency level.
But Mr. Speaker, as we speak today, every day, and I'm sure I speak for all the members here, we get no less than 100 phone calls of children who are at home because they cannot get bursaries. So it is not the members who are suffering, it is the people.
I want members, as we debate on this motion, as we look at how we can actually entrench this into the Constitution, for us to look at how CDF can be able to handle the issues of water. In any case, 80% of Kenya, 85% is arid and semi-arid, and the issue of water is key. As we look at education and everything else, members, let us consider including this provision of water in this CDF, and this is our fund, and this is the fund that can make an impact.
Let us support this, because we are the people representing the electorate. We are the ones who know where it bites.
In a bid of ensuring that the bill sails, the Parliament has chosen to involve Articles 255, 256 and 257 of the Constitution, which allows the Parliament through parliamentary initiative to amend the Constitution without going through a referendum.
They will have an opportunity at the next level to give their views, and any other person interested. The whole country will also have an opportunity, because we will have a whole 3 months after the first reading for us to be able to reach out to every other part of this country, being a constitutional amendment.
In that case, the Speaker of the National Assembly will read the bill for the first time in the House, after which the Parliament will take up to 90 days, where they will travel to all parts of the country, conducting public participation.
Marginalization would go to the...
After the report is presented, the Speaker will read the bill for the second and third time. Legally, the bill will pass if 3/4 of both houses, the Senate and the National Assembly, votes in favor of the bill. The two speakers of the House will then submit the proposal to the President William Ruto for signing.
Both houses of Parliament, then both speakers of Parliament, should we reach the requisite 2/3 majority, will present the bill to the President for accent.
Shadrach Kareria, Lookuptv.
And efforts to enhance literacy levels in Nakuru County, philanthropists from Germany have come together to build a school for children from needy families. The school provides education, meals, and in extreme cases, basic needs for the children it sponsors. Press Kanjari with more.
Nelson Mandela once said, "Education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world." It is this approach that the Live and Learn Education Center funders have taken to change the lives of children from needy backgrounds in Nakuru West Sub-County. The center has been in existence for 16 years and seeks to support children throughout their primary education, thus reducing the burden of school fees on their caregivers. The Live and Learn Education Center has a fund that provides scholarships for bright students from poor families to continue with their high school education into higher learning institutions.
We have 560 children on our program here in Nakuru, and these children are very needy, and these children need our help, they need your help, they need the help of the government as well. We're building this education center in the same way that the government wants schools to be built. It's a very sturdy, strong construction, and we're working to give these children who usually would not have the possibilities, we're giving them the possibility to be all that they can be.
So far, 6,000 children have benefited from this program, with the center also providing food assistance for a number of families and counseling sessions for parents.
Wakati mtoto alikuwa huko shule ile ya Baruti, mimi nilikuwa nakosaga chakula kunipa hiyo mtoto, na hata akienda shule anaja kulia, na akienda huko akiona watoto wengine wanakula githeri wanaja kunyang'anya. kwa sababu nilikuwa hakuna na kitu, lakini wakati nilikuja hapa nilishukuru sana kwa sababu mtoto wangu aliacha kukula na akapewa nguo na akapewa viatu.
As well, the center has a holistic health coaching program to create emotional healing for people who have experienced trauma and tragic life events. Pris Kanjari, Lookuptv.
Even as President William Ruto plans to cut expenditure by 300 billion shillings, Kenya's debt servicing costs are projected to jump to 1 trillion shillings by the end of the current financial year. According to an annual public debt management report, public debt will climb from 8.58 trillion shillings by June to 10.1 trillion shillings within 2 years. Lisa Minor reports on what will be a tough balancing act for William Ruto's government to develop the economy while living or conducting its affairs frugally.
According to a report by Treasury's Annual Debt Management, projections indicate debt is estimated to hit 9.4 trillion by June 2023, with public debt expected to jump from the current 8.58 trillion to 10.1 trillion within 2 years, highlighting the need for further austerity measures for Ruto's government. The report further indicates that the country will have to deal with a rise in debt servicing costs from the current 945 billion shillings, equivalent to 49.2% of total revenue, to 1.19 trillion in June 2023. Treasury further indicates that this figure is expected to double to over 2 trillion, which will be equivalent to 64.9% of revenue. With the government currently spending 2.59 billion daily to service debt, the report indicates that it will cost 3.36 billion daily by June and July next year, which will be occasioned by public debt growing by 246.9 billion shillings, an additional 26.1% jump in the figure, which will mean that Kenya has to look for an additional 676.5 million shillings daily for its debt obligations, after growing by 17.6% from 780.6 billion shillings spent on debt service to June 2021. With Ukur Yatani promising to reduce debt as a percentage of GDP, the new Treasury CS will have to find ways to mitigate the current 7.3%, with this expected to jump to 7.4% in the next financial year, according to the report. With the current budget running on a deficit of 862.5 billion shillings, the Treasury plans to plug this local borrowing, estimated at 581.7 billion, and external debt of 280.7 billion. With the international market ever adjusting their interest rates upwards, it will be up to the government to find proper ways to mitigate what stands to be a crisis in the running of President Ruto's affairs. Lisa Minor, Lookup Business.
That's where we are in terms of what is taking center stage today. Amwai, as is going to be, man. I didn't read for you the headline for the Standard though this morning. I sort of got into what you're talking about. It says Ruto's big gamble in PS choices. Was it a gamble? You think so?
It is a gamble because you expect these people to help you push your agenda, and at the end of the day, deliver.
Yeah, Amwai, we gotta cut you out, man.
Sorry?
There's somebody you gotta cut you out. We gotta cut you out right now. Yeah? It looks as if you're still in the mood for breakfast. Even your microphone went for breakfast. But here's the thing, though. I'm right here. We still got 2 minutes. So let me take you online so that we can see exactly what it is that you're talking about. Now, we're going to go back to that particular tweet by Bonnie Kalole this morning. So here's the thing. This is Jackson Nyakoi, definitely from the Kisi community. He's saying, thank you for spotting the error. Current results, Kalenjin serving at 14, Nyanza receiving at 3. All right, let's continue. This is from Boni Mtetezi. He's saying, wanapewa kazi bwana kulingana na kura ilipigwa. Luo, Coast and Turkana voted Raila. acha Raila awape kazi. The same way Ruto alituambia sisi watu wa Trans Nzoia tulipigia natembea tupatie kazi, and then he goes laughing and then of it. This is Collins saying, during the election, why didn't you people complain of regional balancing? How many votes did Nyanza give Ruto and Gachagua? You have leaders on the National Assembly. Ask them to file a motion to impeach the president if you feel he has violated the Constitution. Listen, and then somebody saying it was done based on the population of the regions. Well, all right. So we continue with it. I don't know where your mic is on, Amwai. I'm just, because I want you to jump in on that. Is it on? Or Amwai goes for breakfast?
It is.
Oh, all right, it's back. All right, let's do. All right, Amwai, talk to me, man. What do you think of this?
Well, like we said, if the tweet you read, the last tweet you read, is anything to go by, you're looking at the population and not exactly the regions.
Yeah.
So you're awarding this CS position and these PS positions depending on which region has the most people, or rather a big population. Then you could give it to them and say, okay, probably that's what we are looking at, and actually awarding these PS positions. But this is the thing, Simba.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you come and look at it and you say, it was kind of, we're just picking and saying this particular region, because I don't believe out of the 500 and something people that applied for these particular positions, most of them came for these particular regions. I think it was equal, probably, to some extent. I believe that a lot of Kenyans from different sides of the tribal divide, did apply for these PS positions. But at the end of the day, we look at it and we say, okay, 13-13 or 6-6 and 8-8 and 1-1. The president is the only person who knows as to why he did that.
Anyway, on that particular note then, am I saying the president is the only one who knows? For us, we'll keep on speculating and asking those questions. Anyway, on that note, we take a short break right here. Once we come back, I know Amwai is going to make you juice this morning. It's it's Wednesday, isn't it? It's Thursday. Yeah? So let's come back and see exactly what Amwai is. It's third, isn't it? Wow. The year is ending, man. Take a short break right here on the morning brief. Once we come back, Amwai will be cooking. I don't know what he's going to be cooking. All right.